Hello, and welcome back to the Sun and Soul podcast. I'm your host, Brianna, and this is a place where we dive into the mystical realm of metaphysics, spiritual, psychic mediumship, astrology, aliens, ghosts. Every episode, we have something new to bring to you. And this episode's no different, and I can't wait to talk about what we're going to be getting into today, which is how to learn how to communicate with spirits through the art of tarot. So hang in tight, go get yourself a glass of water because we're going to be moving some energy. And if you have your own deck of tarot cards, it would be a great time to get those out, or you can save this podcast for a moment that you do have some time because we're going to do this together and we're going to get some messages from spirit. Let's get started. Okay, so I start every episode off with a collective reading. So I'm sitting here looking out my window right now as I'm doing this podcast, and the sun just started shining. Like the clouds moved out of the way and the sun just started beaming in the window right when I'm talking about this collective reading. I think that we are having we just had an eclipse last week, and I think with this eclipse, there's like this new energy. It's like this light language being brought down onto earth, and I feel like it's encoded with all this knowledge, and all we have to do is tap into that knowledge to, have it for ourselves. Anyone can do this. All you have to do is become a vibrational match to the knowledge, and then it'll kind of pop into your head like a download, okay? So that's the first thing I'm feeling. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these tarot cards, though, and I'm going to see what Spirit wants us to know for this week going forward. Shuffle the deck. I knock on the deck to clear the energy, and then I like to shuffle the cards until one falls out on its own. Sometimes, more than one falls out, and that just means that there's a little bit more to the message that I need to cover. So here we go. I'm shuffling, and 3 just fell out. So let's see what those cards have to say for us. I'm seeing the Ace of Wands. You guys, aces are about new beginnings. Wands are about action, manifestation. Now is the time for this new beginning. And it's funny because this deck that I'm using, if you guys want to see the deck that I'm using, it's the Sun and Soul Tarot deck, which is available on the TikTok shop. It's my own personal deck. But the Ace of Wands, that card literally has the sun peeking out through the clouds. And it's like this beautiful orange and red sunrise. And it's funny because when I started this reading, I told you guys the clouds just parted and the sun started coming in. So I think that there's big emphasis on this light language that's coming to earth. And I've never talked about any of this in any collective reading I've ever done. So I think that there's this shift happening on earth right now. And I think that you guys are going to feel it slowly but surely. I am seeing the 10 of Wands, and I feel like we are going to start doing a lot. I feel like maybe for some of you guys, this stagnant period is ending, okay? So if you felt like you've been in limbo, you felt like you've been waiting for your calling, you've been waiting for your passion, you've been waiting for something to do, that time is coming. But I'm not seeing it being like overwhelming or overstimulating. I'm seeing it being very rewarding, very fun. This is something, it's like a passion. It's a passion project, and it's something that you're going to thrive at. It's going to make you feel alive, but I'm also feeling like this is not something just for yourself. It's something much bigger that you're doing. It's like for everyone. It's for the collective. Okay, we also have the 5 of Pentacles here, okay? And so I'm getting 2 energies here, 2 energies. And I feel like this could either be a family member or a really, really good friend. But I feel like you're both about to go through something intense, like a spiritual awakening. And I feel like it might be something to where you both I keep getting the image of like 2 females being submerged in water, and then they come out new. Okay, so for some of you guys, maybe this is like a baptism that you're wanting to have done. It could be like literally like in a church, or it could be, figuratively. But for some of you guys, this could just be an analogy Spirit's showing me for a spiritual awakening. Maybe you and your friend are doing this together, or maybe you met a brand new friend who's really spiritual, and you guys are going to start like unlocking some truths together. But that is what I feel for this week. But I think to sum it up, basically what the message is that there's all new light language being brought to earth, and we're going to get some crazy insane downloads with some crazy insane knowledge. And so you need to make sure that your vibration's high so that you can receive those downloads for yourself as well and use it to your benefit. Okay? What a beautiful message for this week. let's get into the beginning of this lesson, you guys. If you have your tarot cards out, just go ahead and get them out of the package now and set them in front of you. Make sure you're in a place that you're not going to be interrupted. I actually always have my kids with me, so I'm used to, channeling through the noise and the chaos. But for those of you who are a beginner, you might want to get in a quiet place that no one's going to interrupt you, because we are going to really need to pay attention to what we're feeling. And sometimes that can be hard to do with distractions. So I also like to say that sometimes it helps to dim the lights and light a candle. It really doesn't have anything to do with, the candle's powers. It has more of to let you kind of relax a little bit more and get more calm. So if that's something that'll help you, or, getting a glass of warm tea, then do that. Do whatever it takes to get yourself comfortable and relaxed, okay? Now, the first and foremost, most important thing is that we have to start with grounding ourselves, okay? I like to describe this as you can be a kite in the wind, or you can be a loose feather in the wind. Which one would you rather be? You're going to fly either way, but one way you're controlled and you can, have clarity, or the other way it's just you're being blown everywhere. Yeah, you're flying, but it's a little crazy, okay? So a good grounding exercise before we get going is to stand. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do this, but this is just, a way that I recommend. I want you to stand with your feet planted into the ground. If you can go outside barefoot, this is, amazing to do, like on the soil or the grass. But if you just have shoes on and you're in your house, that's fine too. This is energy work, okay? So it doesn't really matter too much. But you're going to stand with your feet planted, and you're going to raise your arms all the way above your head, all the way up as high as they go. And then you're going to bring your hands down. You're going to pull the energy. Imagine yourself pulling the energy from above your head and pulling all the energy down, go all the way down your body, past your shoulders, past your torso, past your hips, through your thighs, past your knees, past your ankles, down to your feet. And then push your hands down to the floor, okay? You do not have to do this with straight knees. Like if you cannot touch the floor, that's fine. Just bend down and push that energy all the way down to the ground, and picture it going deep down into the earth, farther, 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 until it's just wrapped all the way to the center of the earth and coils around the center of the earth, and you are grounded, okay? That's the first step. Step number 2, we are going to protect ourselves. Now, this is something that we should just do every day. These 2 things that I'm telling you, because having a physical experience, yes, we're facing the physical, but there's energy everywhere. So it is always good, but outside of even doing a reading, it's always good to wake up and ground yourself and protect yourself for the day. Okay, so these 2 things that I'm explaining, even if you're not reading tarot or connecting with spirit, I would just recommend to do this every single morning, because it'll just help you protect your energy. So yes, so there are many different ways that you can protect your energy. The most simple way that I like to do is just a little prayer before I begin. But a lot of people like to picture a white light around themselves. But you could do whatever you feel is best. Some people like to do like a protection circle of salt. But I find it easiest to just say a prayer, and I make it simple. It doesn't have to be anything specific. It's more about the intent than the words you use. So I just say, and you could say it in your head or out loud. Once again, it doesn't matter about the words, it matters about the intent. But I just say, dear universe, dear God, please only let those of the highest vibration of love and light come through in today's reading. And please help the information help me on my highest timeline possible. Help it guide me to my highest timeline possible. Thank you. And that's that. Now we can begin, okay? Okay, so now that we've done the grounding work and we've protected ourselves, the next thing you can do is you're going to want to decide who you want to talk to, okay? Do you want to talk to your spirit guides? Do you want to talk to your ancestors? Do you want, are we doing mediumship to where we're bringing a loved one through? Figure it out, and that you've got to set your intention with that information. So let's say I'm wanting my spirit guide to come through. I'm going to address them, and if you don't know your spirit guide's name, I'm going to post a whole entire episode on meditations and how to actually meet your spirit guide. I think I did post that in a previous episode. So you can go check that out. But I'm going to be posting another one on how to meditate so you guys can really connect better. So stay tuned for that. But you don't have to know their name to connect with them. You can just ask them, say, please, spirit guide, please, I want to connect with you in this reading. Please come forward. Okay? And then you're going to decide what spread you're going to do. So you can, the sky is the limit. You don't have to have any, exact spread. You can make up your own even. It's just, like I said, it's about the intent. So I like to do like a past, present, and future for beginners. That's pretty simple. So let your spirit guide know what spread you're going to do so that they can be familiar with what we're doing here. Okay? Because they're the ones who are going to give you messages through the cards. So we can let them know, I'm going to shuffle the deck and I'm going to do the first card that comes out. It's going to be my past situation. The second card that comes out, it's going to be what's going on currently. And then the third card is going to be my future situation that you're going to help me with. And just let the spirit guide know. Let them know. And then when you're finally ready, you can start shuffling your deck and you're going to think about that person or that spirit guide the whole time, okay? So if this is a specific person you're wanting to contact, then think of their name the whole time you're shuffling. Picture their face. If you are, just channeling your spirit guide, then just feel what the energy would feel like of your spirit guide and just really focus on that energy. Then when you're ready, you can either, set the deck down, you can cut the deck in half and start pulling cards. I like to just shuffle until cards fall out. And it's okay if you have like 2 cards that fall out in the past spot, 3 cards that fall out in the present spot, and only 1 card that falls out in the future spot. That's okay. That's just how it was meant to be because maybe the message is just a little bit bigger. Okay, so that's what you do. Now, I like to have the cards fall on out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. But for time purposes, I'm just going to pull from the deck because, that would take a long time to just sit here and listen to all that chaos. So I'm going to do this with you guys. So if you have your deck, now's the time to start shuffling. Set your intention, like I said. Pause this if you need to so that you can really get, where you need to be. But I'm going to do this with you guys, and I'm going to connect with my spirit guide, and my intention is going to be to let you guys know what you need to hear right now in this moment. Okay, what do we have going on? What has been going on in our life? What's going on right now? And what does my spirit guide? My spirit guide's really trained in this stuff because my spirit guide helps me channel all these messages for you guys. And so I feel like it's a male too. So I feel like when I refer to him, I'm going to say he has a message for you guys, for everyone that's here. Okay, so here we go. I'm seeing the 3 of Cups, the Hangman, and then I'm seeing the Hermit. Okay, so let's start with the past energy here. And if you go ahead, like I said, pause this video if you need to take a minute to lay out your own tarot cards. Okay, I'm going to tune in here. So what's going on in the past? In the past, I feel like we've just really focused on having fun. Okay, I'm seeing the 3 of Cups. Cups are about emotional fulfillment. And when I'm seeing the 3 of Cups, it's a lot of female energy where I feel like we're really focusing on like the feminine, friendship, family, okay? Sisterhood, a circle of friends. Like that is important. That has been important to you in the past. And I feel like throughout the past, we've really leaned on those people. They really helped us get through some things. But I'm saying that right now, you don't need that support anymore. You're at a place in your life that, because it's the Hangman, right? The Hangman, he's solo. I'm seeing that you're okay. You're content with life. It wasn't crazy as it was before. You don't need that intense support like you did at one time. But I'm seeing that we're ready for more. Yes, we've been content. We've been waiting. We've been waiting for something to happen. And I feel like it's interesting because the Hermit is what's in the future. So I think it's almost saying you're going to have to go within. It's like, yes, you are in the perfect place to go within, but you haven't gone within yet. The Hangman, right? You're waiting for something to happen, and Spirit saying nothing's going to happen on the outside until something happens on the inside. And in order for something to happen on the inside, we have to go within. So I feel like Spirit saying nothing's going to happen until in the future they say, the Hermit, we're going to go within and we're going to get something's going to come to you inspirationally. Okay, you're going to finally get some communication from your spirit guide. You're going to have an epiphany. You're going to have this realization. It's going to be different for all of you, but that's kind of what I feel. It's like as soon as you go within, you're going to know the next step because Spirit's waiting to talk to you, and they can't talk to you unless you go within and you listen to what they have to say. I like to call it checking your spiritual inbox, because we have all this energy around us and spirit talks to us through energy. But if we're busy conjuring up our own energy and we're too much in the physical, then we're never going to hear what they have to tell us. So sometimes we have to quiet our mind, we have to go inward, and we have to listen to what the energy is telling us, because it's so subtle. It's not this big booming voice of God. It's not. It's subtle. It's a whisper. It's a still small voice. So it can be really hard to miss if you're not trying to connect. Okay. Now, once again, I know you guys are like, okay, I would love to do that. I don't know how to do that. How do I do that? Don't worry. I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. I'm going to have a future episode on meditation and connecting with your guides to help you do this, because I think that information should be easily readable for everyone, right? Because it's important to know how to connect with our intuition. And I think it's important to learn how to talk to your spirit guides also. So that is what you do. Okay. And if you were talking to, someone with a specific name that, has been on earth, ask them for some validating information and pull that from the cards, and then wait and see as time goes on if any of that came through in the future, like when you do your future reading, if anything that you asked ends up coming to fruition, and then here's the part where I would get like a journal, or you can even use the notes section on your phone and record your session, date it, time it, and record everything that you got. So that way you can come back as time goes on and reference it. And when you keep doing this, you can see how you're improving, and you can, it just helps you know if you're growing and if you're connecting intuitively, and it gives you, a basis to go off of. So when you're done doing that, you're going to want to thank the spirit, whoever you connected with. Thank them, because, they took time out of their energetic day, so to speak, to connect with you. And so we show appreciation. We thank them. And we're going to dim the white light, pull it back into our body, or, clean up your circle, or whatever protection you used, you're going to put that away. And then we're going to reground our body. We're going to get back into our body, because sometimes it can feel a little, airy whenever we're in that channeling state. So we're going to get back into our body, get something good to eat, drink something yummy, to do something physical to get yourself back into your body. And that's how you do it, you guys. Now, before you do any of this, I forgot to tell you guys, but I'll tell you now, you need to make sure you're in a high vibration, because spirit is in such a high vibration, and they have to lower their vibration to speak with us, because we are in the physical. We're very, we're much lower in our vibration. So if we can raise our vibration, that communication will be a lot more clear and easy to understand. And you're going to hear a lot of crazy things on how to raise your vibration, but I'm going to tell you one thing that's tried and true, and it is the easiest way, and that is to just make yourself happy. However you can make yourself happy. Happiness is a very high vibration. Now, whenever I was pregnant and I was, channeling messages, I was like craving chocolate so much. And so I would sit there and I'd eat a bunch of chocolate before I would channel. And I always had such good messages come through, because the chocolate put me in such a happy mood. And so my channeling would be much better. So what do you have to do to make yourself happy before you channel a message? If you're feeling sad and weepy, that's not the time to channel a message. Okay. That's going to be your ego coming through. So do what you got to do. If you got to listen to some fun music, if you got to talk to a friend, hear a funny story, do something to lighten your mood, get yourself higher vibes, and you're going to notice the clarity of your message is a lot more pristine. Okay. You guys, I hope this helped you, and I hope you get some amazing messages. Let me know in the comments. I want to know, when you tried this, did anything different happen for you? Did you get any profound messages? Let me know. I like hearing about that stuff, okay? Let me know what happened, what came through. Anything profound? Anything documentable? Any validation? Let me know in the comments. Well, it is that time. I love that we got to meet again another week. And it's that time, though. It's that time that we got to say goodbye. You guys, I'm really excited, because in October, we're going to have a whole series on ghost, and that's going to be so fun to do. So stay tuned for that, because spooky season is right around the corner, and we have a lot of really good episodes planned for that. If you're not a Patreon member already, you're going to want to go ahead and jump over there and subscribe, because we have a lot of fun things planned for our Patreons, and giving away free readings is one of those really fun things we have planned. So go over there and do that. And if you would like to write into the show for any reason, you can do that. Our email address is in the show notes. You guys, you have a beautiful week. Take care, rest your soul, find ways to make yourself happy, whatever that may be. And till we meet again next week, I'm your host, Brianna, and you are listening to the Sun and Soul Spiritual Podcast. Take care.